Exciting news, Fever fans! The Indiana Fever is heading to Iowa City for a sold-out preseason showdown against the Brazilian national team, and tickets vanished in just 10 minutes. This isn't just hype. Caitlin Clark is changing the game before even stepping onto a WNBA court. Let's break down this record-breaking moment. But before further proceeding in video, if you're new to the channel, please support by hit that subscribe button for more updates.
We are coming to Iowa City. We are thrilled to announce that the Indiana Fever will face off against the Brazilian national team in a preseason exhibition at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Caitlin Clark has just shattered expectations in a way no one saw coming. A preseason exhibition game between the Indiana Fever and the Brazilian national team sold out in a mind-blowing 10 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't the WNBA Finals or even a regular season matchup, yet demand for tickets was so overwhelming that most fans didn't even get a chance to buy them. This level of excitement is unprecedented in women's basketball. The buzz surrounding Clark is off the charts, and it's not just about her skills, it's about the movement she's creating. But how did we get here? What does this record-breaking sellout say about Clark's rising stardom? And just how insane are the resale ticket prices?
It took just 1 hour for Caitlin Clark's return to Carver Hawkeye Arena to be sold out. Tickets went on sale at 9 this morning. They were all gone before general sale to the public even started. Clark and the Indiana Fever are returning to the University of Iowa for a WNBA preseason game.
What if I told you a WNBA preseason game sold out faster than an NBA playoff matchup? Sounds unreal, right? But that's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever faced off against the Brazilian national team. Every single ticket was gone in just 10 minutes. Let that sink in. This isn't the WNBA Finals. It's not even a regular season game. And yet, the demand was so overwhelming that thousands of fans never even had the chance to buy a ticket. This isn't just about one player. It's about a seismic shift in women's basketball. Clark's influence has already reached iconic levels, and she hasn't even stepped onto a WNBA court yet. Fans aren't just excited, they're obsessed. The way people engage with women's basketball is changing before our eyes, and Caitlin Clark is the catalyst behind it all. Women's sports aren't just growing, they're exploding. And if this is what's happening before her first pro game, just imagine what's coming next.
I know some people out there said that the demand to see Caitlin Clark was not going to be what it was last year, right? That maybe she had lost some fans, this, that, and the other because of that interview that, again, I feel like, oh my God, I feel like she's got the worst representation in maybe all of sports. We've seen that.
To truly grasp the significance of this moment, we need to rewind and explore how Caitlin Clark reached this point. Her journey isn't just about shattering records or becoming the face of the WNBA before playing a single professional game. It's about transforming the sport itself. She's not just making history, she's redefining the way people engage with women's basketball, elevating its visibility, and proving that the demand for the game has never been stronger. With every shot, every game, and every sold-out arena, Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's changing the culture of the sport, one moment at a time.
Before we dive into the absolute insanity of ticket sales, the jaw-dropping resale prices, and what this all means for the future of the WNBA, let's rewind and trace how we got to this moment. Because make no mistake, this isn't just about one player or one game. This is about a shift in women's basketball that no one can ignore. It all started in Iowa, where Caitlin Clark wasn't just a great player, she was a phenomenon. In a sport that has spent decades fighting for recognition, struggling to capture the same viewership as the men's game, Clark changed the narrative. She wasn't just putting up incredible stats, she was breaking records, demanding attention, and forcing people to take notice. Her 2023 to 2024 season with the Iowa Hawkeyes wasn't just legendary on paper, it was a cultural moment. Game after game, she turned the ordinary into the extraordinary. Those logo range three-pointers, they weren't just highlights, they were viral sensations. Her swagger, confidence, and sheer ability to dominate on the court made her must-watch television. Iowa basketball, yes. Iowa was suddenly the hottest ticket in town, drawing millions of viewers and captivating fans across the country. By the time she led Iowa to the NCAA Women's Championship game, Clark was no longer just a star, she had become the face of an era. The championship matchup against SU didn't just bring in big numbers, it shattered records. drawing an unbelievable 9.9 million viewers and becoming the most watched women's college basketball game in history. Women's basketball had never seen engagement on this level before, and it wasn't just about TV ratings. Her impact was everywhere. Ticket sales exploding, merchandise selling out instantly, social media flooded with Caitlin Clark highlights, debates, and celebrations. Everywhere you turned, people were talking about her. She wasn't just playing basketball, she was changing it. So when it was announced that Caitlin Clark would be playing a WNBA preseason game in Iowa, stepping onto the court where she cemented her legacy, everyone knew it was going to be a big deal. But what happened next? Nobody saw it coming. The second tickets went on sale, pandemonium broke loose. Fans rushed to ticketing websites, frantically clicking, refreshing, and praying for a chance to be in the building. But within 10 minutes, gone. Every single one of the 15,000 seats snatched up in record time. That's faster than NBA playoff games sell out. And here's the wild part, it never even reached the general public. Every single seat was locked up by season ticket holders and exclusive buyers before the average fan even had a shot. And that's when the resale chaos kicked in. Tickets that originally cost a few $100s, they were now skyrocketing on secondary markets. The best seats in the house, listed for over $4,500. Let that sink in. A WNBA preseason game commanding the kind of prices usually reserved for Super Bowl tickets. This moment was bigger than Caitlin Clark. It was proof that women's basketball wasn't just gaining interest, it was exploding into a cultural force. And here's what makes it even more incredible. This wasn't happening in Los Angeles or New York. This was happening in Iowa City, a place that, just a few years ago, wasn't exactly known for record-breaking ticket demand. To put this into perspective, not long ago, WNBA teams were struggling to fill even half their arenas. Some games had just a few thousand fans, with tickets selling for next to nothing. Now, a preseason game, not even a regular season matchup, had people paying thousands just to be in the building. The landscape of women's basketball has always had its passionate supporters, fans who have followed the game through its ups and downs, cheering for the talent that has long deserved more recognition. But for the first time in history, the sport has something it's never had before. A mega star with the power to capture mainstream attention on a level never seen before. With Caitlin Clark stepping onto the WNBA stage, everything is shifting, and the ripple effects are impossible to ignore. There have been moments in the past that hinted at this kind of surge in popularity. Back in 2023, when Angel Reese and SU faced off against South Carolina, the game drew over 1.5 million viewers, making it one of the most watched regular season women's college basketball matchups ever. That same year, the NCAA tournament set new records for viewership, with Clark's Iowa games pulling in millions of fans, many of whom had never tuned into women's basketball before. The excitement didn't stop there. The momentum carried into 2024, where Clark's dominance on the court and her electrifying performances continued to shatter expectations. Now, that energy has followed her into the professional world, and the results speak for themselves. The fact that an Indiana Fever preseason game, a game that in previous years would have barely made a dent in ticket sales, sold out before the general public even had a chance to buy seats, is nothing short of historic. This isn't just a spike in interest, it's a sign that the WNBA is on the verge of something massive. The immediate impact of Clark's arrival is forcing teams across the league to completely rethink their approach to ticketing, scheduling, and arena capacity. The Washington Mystics have already announced that their games against the Indiana Fever will be moved to a larger arena in Baltimore, boosting capacity from 4,200 to over 14,000 seats to meet the overwhelming demand. Other teams are scrambling to find ways to accommodate the surge in interest, recognizing that any game featuring Clark is now a must-attend event. But the bigger question is, can the WNBA sustain this level of interest beyond Caitlin Clark? There's no denying that Clark is the biggest star the league has seen in years, but she isn't the only reason women's basketball is growing. Players like Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson, Angel Reese, and Breanna Stewart have been laying the foundation for this moment, elevating the league and expanding its reach. The difference now is that Clark's presence is pushing the WNBA into a new era of visibility. She isn't just a great player, she's an event. Every game she plays is now appointment viewing, and the ticket sales are proof of that. This also brings up an interesting debate. Should WNBA teams expand their arena sizes? Most teams currently play in smaller venues, which made sense in the past when attendance numbers were modest. But now, with this level of demand, some franchises may need to consider moving into NBA-sized arenas to keep up with interest. The fact that a preseason game, not even a regular season contest, had people paying thousands of dollars just to be in the building suggests that the league is operating on a different level now. And then there's the resale market, which has become a frenzy. The fact that tickets for a preseason game were listed for thousands of dollars highlights a problem that needs to be addressed. Scalpers are capitalizing on the moment, buying up tickets in bulk and reselling them for astronomical prices. This means that many die-hard fans, people who genuinely wanted to witness this historic moment in person, were completely shut out. As the league continues to grow, finding a way to regulate resale pricing and ensure fair access for real fans will be crucial. But one thing is crystal clear: Caitlin Clark has officially changed the game. She's not just setting records on the court, she's breaking barriers off it. The WNBA is now on everyone's radar, and the excitement isn't fading anytime soon. The significance of Clark's historic ticket sellout goes far beyond one game. It's about what this moment represents for women's basketball, for the WNBA, and for the business of sports as a whole. This isn't just a passing trend or a short-lived hype train, this is a fundamental shift. What happened with the Indiana Fever's preseason matchup against the Brazilian national team wasn't just an exciting night for basketball fans, it was a preview of what's to come. The Caitlin Clark effect is very, very real. For years, women's sports have fought for the recognition, media attention, and financial investment they deserve. The talent has always been there, but the infrastructure, coverage, and opportunities have often fallen short. Clark is changing that in real time. The fact that a preseason game sold out in 10 minutes proves that she's not just another star, she's a transformative figure.